The running order of the Eurovision Song Contest 2025 Grand Final is out. Thank you, EBU. And as always, it is a choice. Some got the dream slot, some have to work a little bit harder, and a few are stuck in positions that make you go, interesting. So let's go for the lineup real quick. Who's opening, who's closing, and who has been strategically placed before or after the favorites, because in Eurovision, timing is everything. Except when it isn't. Let's talk Eurovision. Alright, y'all, before we get started, make sure you like this video because it helps me in the algorithm, and subscribe because I want you to stick around. Let's jump into this. I'm looking at this for the first time, so I'm trying to give some insight, and it's the first time I'm seeing this, so I'm not prepared. But let's do this. Alright, who is getting the lucky or unlucky number one? It is Norway. Norway, okay, that is interesting. Norway was a producer's choice. In case you don't know what that means, 6 countries are drawn into first half, 6 songs are drawn into second half, and the remaining 14 songs are producer's choice. So they can put them anywhere they wanted. Norway was a producer's choice, and they decided Kyle gets to open the grand final, followed by Luxembourg, actually. So I call them kid-friendly songs, go early, which is also not uncommon. The difference is with Luxembourg, they were drawn into first half, so they had to be between 1 and 13. And I figured they would be within the first 5 songs, and number 2 they are. Interesting side fact, not a single song that ran from position 2 has won the contest. So we'll see, maybe this year will be the year. Followed then by Estonia, interestingly enough, another producer's choice. We see that the show starts with 3 upbeat songs or fun, energetic songs, and then we move into Israel, who is going to be the 4th song of the night, the first ballad. Israel put fairly early, just like they were last year, but you know, it slows down a little bit, and then interestingly enough, it's followed by Lithuania, not the song that I would think comes after Israel, because Lithuania, not a ballad, but it is certainly very gloomy and apocalyptic. So that's a different vibe that I wasn't expecting this early. Maybe they want to get the good vibes late. I want to get that out of the way. Lithuania, also a producer's choice, and followed by Spain in 6th position. Keep in mind, Spain is an upbeat song and was drawn into first half, so they had to be also between 1 and 13. So somewhat expected. Followed by Ukraine, and Ukraine also drawn into the first half, had to be there somewhere. So yeah, kind of expected, I guess, and style-wise it makes sense. Number 8 is United Kingdom, and United Kingdom, I'm a bit surprised. I would have guessed that UK would close the show. It would be so perfect. What the hell just happened? But now they gave him actually a pretty unfortunate spot, and hear me out. They're coming right before Austria. Austria, the second favorite to win. Everyone will be talking about Austria. So if I was a Brit, I would be a little bit not thrilled with the running order. It won't have so much of an effect with the juries. I still think UK gets point from the juries, but now I'm even more worried about the televoters. Now, Austria, of course, a favorite to win, and they got a decent running order, number 9. That's because they were also drawn into first half, so they had to be before 13. And I see that Finland is number 13, but it makes sense, another favorite. So they wanted to spread them out a little bit, with it still giving them decent positions. So makes sense for Austria being number 9. Iceland is number 10. I feel like that's, and I don't mean that in a disrespectful manner because it's a great song, but it is a little bit of a filler. I think Iceland was a little bit more on the lower end of the top 10 in their semi, so they put them there right after Austria to bring up the energy as well. And then Latvia is a unique style song, so that's hard to place in any running order, which makes it so much fun. Also, producer-driven and producer's choice here. Okay, the next one is a bit surprising. Netherlands and Finland, 12 and 13. They want to give them great running orders, I get, but the difference is Finland was drawn into first half, while the Netherlands was a producer's choice. I'm a bit surprised that the Netherlands was put right before Finland, the big party. Different styles and genres, so it makes sense, but will Finland suck out all the energy? Like, I don't know. But the Netherlands, they qualified, and I think they both will do well. But yeah, I'm a bit surprised to see those two next to each other. Finland, as said, gets the PIM slot here, 13. The reason why it's PIM slot, it was drawn into the first half, so that's the latest they could go. And I'm not surprised that what I would have expected, Finland is a favorite to win or do well. And unfortunately, with the producer-driven running order, they put the ones that are popular and that are favorites apart from each other so they don't cancel each other out usually, and gives them usually really good running orders. And if you tell me you don't believe me, that's a conspiracy. It's not a conspiracy. Christian Björkman spoke openly about that in interviews. So now that is exactly why Finland is coming so late. And also they don't want to be too early because, the kids have to go to bed. And in some channels like BBC, you cannot have very naughty performances. All right. Next up is Italy 14 and Poland 15. Both of them chosen by the producers, I think. Yes. So decent running orders. You're right in the middle. Germany was actually. Oh, okay. So happy for Italy and Poland. Different styles. Poland and Germany both energetic though, but that's fine. People can take two upbeat songs. Now Germany surprised me because they were drawn into the second half. And I thought if it's not the UK, then Germany would be a great closer as well. But no, they're getting 16th. So even though they drew second half, it's not, the most ideal one. I thought they're going to go later. Huh. All right. Well, Greece is 17th. So after Poland and Germany, energetic song. This is greatly positioned for Greece as well, a producer's choice. And then Armenia, which is the loud survivor, the energetic rock song. Greece is positioned beautifully. So if you are Greek, you should be thrilled with this. Greece will stand out. Armenia at the same time as well. Very different energies, because then 19 is Switzerland. And Switzerland was already decided to be 19. They drew number 19, so there was no working around or deciding. So they had to work around that, and that works out again. Greece slow. Armenia is really well positioned, looking at like a ballad before, a ballad after Armenia. So you should thank the producers some flowers, because they did you a big favor here. So Switzerland, as we knew, will be 19th, followed by Malta. Yes, that's another. Okay, I will say, as much as I do not like the producer-driven decisions because it seems unfair, in terms of style and vibe-wise, those songs could not be further apart. So that is good. Malta was the producer's choice, so they should be happy getting this great running order. Portugal got second half, so I'm not too surprised that it's there right after Malta, getting a little bit more of a relaxed and calmer feel. Denmark got second half, so that makes sense, but they're coming right before Sweden. The current betting odds favorite. Sweden is expected to win. And I'm not too surprised they got a fantastic running order. It's producer's choice, and Sweden almost always gets great running orders by the producers. And this year is no difference, which is in some ways frustrating, but it's just what we're used to. And unless people complain more about it, or broadcasters, it won't change. And then France, although I am surprised to see Sweden and France right after each other, because those are two big favorites. And there are two very different styles, though. And you're closer to the end, so it's maybe not quite as of an issue as it would be if you would be like 11th and 12th. So, yeah, even though there are the two favorites and coming right after each other, at least they will not, I don't think it's going to be as big of an issue, which is nice. And France was in the second half anyway, so they had to be somewhere between 14 and 26. So there you go. And then San Marino, 25. So my predictions here did not come to fruition at all. I thought San Marino could be a potential opener. It just gets the party started. Instead, they are second to close. Great for them, although that makes me wonder, coming right after the two big favorites, that they are also now the sacrificial lamb, and that they came maybe like 9th or so in the semi. I could be overthinking it, but that's just how it feels. Like Sweden, first in the betting odds, France, third in the betting odds, I believe, and then San Marino. But at least they're closer to the end. That can only help the little tiny country. And let's all rejoice, y'all. Albania is in the second half. We knew that's in the second half. I'm sorry. It's in 26, the last song of the night, which I didn't see that would happen. But hey, I'm very happy. It's a great song. It'll help Albania. They were drawn into the second half, so we knew they would play later in the show. But going last, that is fantastic. I think that's the first time for them. I'd have to look that up. But that is the running order. Yeah, so just to look at it, the biggest, most interesting things again to point out: Norway opening, Albania closing. Still surprised about the Netherlands versus Finland situation there, but it is what it is. Sweden and France going back to back. That is going to be interesting. And yes, Finland and Austria conveniently and effectively separated by still having both great running orders seems like the way to go here. And so overall, it's a diverse place, grand final running order. I don't think my opinions will change much now in terms of who will do well and who won't. But we shall see. And I know some people will say, listen, Matt, running orders do not matter. It's the song that matters. Reality, statistics, and data basically will disagree with you. I've been doing this for a long time, and it's a reality. Now, there is a difference now that you can start voting early. Like at the beginning of the show, maybe that'll help a little. But historically, songs that perform early usually do worse. And you can even use recent history when a song closed in the semi and they came like second or third or even first and then had an early running order and they dropped so much because they had an early running order. It can be very frustrating. So the later you're on the running order, statistically, your odds increases to do better. And France in particular stands out to me as well because they got a fantastic running order in 24, and now they're getting another fantastic running order in 25. I was laughed at, when I said, France is getting a little bit favoritism here, and I stand by that statement. But that is just my opinion. Now, how do you feel about this running order? Happy, sad, or in between? Let me know below in the comment section. I will see you all in my next video.